Well, thanks, everyone, for coming back. I know we've met a couple of times now, and we've kind of figured out. I know Curtis is here for reasons because he's in the residential. Because Mom, you have some custody, but DCF's also involved.
Don't get me started.
Okay, so I'm just trying to reiterate what we've already talked about. I know it's really frustrating. You're really tired from it. You feel like you're doing all you can, but DCF's still involved. Dad, you're somewhat involved. I mean, I know you have a lot of other stuff going on, lots of other kids, but like, I think Mom's looking for a little bit more. And I know you guys kind of have a relationship with your dad.
I mean, he asked me for money.
Sometimes he gives me money, I guess.
Like, he'll call me once a week if I'm lucky.
Okay. And then what about your relationship with your mom?
She's cool. We like to hang out.
Yeah?
Smoke, you know.
So you smoke together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's my little man. I mean, we have a good time together.
Yeah, we just like to chill, you know.
We like to chill together. We like to smoke together. Because
You
we
wonder
both have,
why DCF has taken our son from you.
I don't know, it's how we bond, it's how we
Yeah.
relate. We like
People
to chill
do it all
together.
the time.
Sometimes things are stressful. It really calms us both down. It just works for us.
Totally inappropriate.
Okay. So for this session, I know other sessions we've kind of talked collaboratively, but for this one, Curtis, I'm going to ask that you kind of step back a little bit. And I know it might be tough to hear about things about yourself, and I know that can be really rough.
But this is about him.
I
Why would
understand.
he not talk?
Yeah, this
Where
is
his parents
stupid.
need to be able to make decisions.
I'm not even
when-
going to sit
He's
here and listen
14
to
years
that.
old. I don't know. He should
I
have say in
still
his
have an
own life.
opinion,
Curtis.
okay?
I agree, Curtis.
If you can't be quiet, we're going to have to ask you to leave just for this part. Do you think you might be able to stay for this?
Whatever, I don't
Great.
know.
This is your first warning. You're going to get a couple. If you can't hold it together, you're going to have to step out, okay?
Okay, whatever.
Great. Thank you. All I can ask is that you try. So, Mom, we're here to work on this relationship right now. The main problem with DCF is that you want custody back, right? But it's not working how it's working right now. So we're going to have to work on you regaining some power in this relationship.
I
Does
guess.
that make sense? Like right now, it seems like Curtis really isn't listening. He's doing whatever he wants. And right now, we're
I
going to have
listen
to
to her.
Curtis, that's number 2.
You're making an assumption. That's not even fair.
We're talking to Mom right now.
Whatever.
So that's number 2. I don't want to have to ask you to leave, all
He's
right?
not disrespectful. He's just saying what he's thinking.
Can we focus on this relationship just for a little bit? If we're worried about,
That's funny because we don't really have a relationship.
which might be an issue. I mean, if you think about it, it seems like you want some power. Dad wants some power. Curtis has all of the power right now. Curtis doesn't really listen to you guys. He does whatever he wants, which is an issue. You want custody back, but you can't get it without any power.
I guess so. I mean, things weren't so bad before DCF got involved.
The DCF thought they were bad. So
Who cares
someone
what
thought,
they think?
that's number
Thank
3.
you.
We're going to one more, and then you're going to have to leave for a little bit.
Thank you, Curtis.
I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't even, he's the one that doesn't know.
He's not even involved. He
He's
doesn't
not
even care. He only cares about
I'm
his other
here.
family.
Curtis,
Whatever.
He's not involved. He's off with his other kids.
instead of, you know what, Dad? I think you're losing some power right here. I feel like they're talking over you.
He
You
doesn't
can't-
care.
Curtis, that's number 5. Can you please leave? I will get you in a minute.
I
Please
care.
step out.
He shouldn't
No,
have
you
any.
don't.
All right.
You only care about your
Curtis?
other family.
Curtis, let's go. We're taking a
This
minute
is
break with
stupid.
Curtis. Curtis can't hold it together right now. I'll call you back in a minute.
This is your fault.
I don't even
You're
have a voice
here.
when he's in around.
Well, it's because you're here that he's acting out. He's not used to you just being
Whatever.
around. When he's with me, we're chill. We're fine.
Whatever.
So you feel like Dad's not really involved and you're more involved.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
you are
you-
the one that had partial custody. What do you,
Do you feel like you have power in the relationship with Curtis?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Does he do what you say when you say it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. But as a 14-year-old boy, I think DCF at least is seeing, and DCF is the main control of this whole situation
I
right
wish
now.
they
he
were.
has no respect for her whatsoever.
Right. So I think that's something that we need to work on. We need to work on resetting that hierarchy, resetting that power, giving you some power so then you can at least get your son back, and then everything might get a little bit
I
better.
don't want him to hate me.
I mean, your role as a parent isn't really to be friends at this point, and
Why not? If I try to be a parent, then he just doesn't like me. When we're friends and we're smoking together and we're having a good time, he likes me and we can bond.
But then who's taking care of him?
I don't know, I take care of him too.
Okay. So I think we're gonna have to do something where you're both involved in some decision making.
I
So
mean, she so rarely lets me be involved, and whatever I have to say, you disregard it anyway. So I've just stopped trying.
I
don't
mean,
know what
he'd
the
have
point
to
is.
be around to be involved.
I mean,
So-
I know he doesn't live with you, but he lives in the next town over, and I know you guys have a lot of family in the area, so he might be able to provide some sort of support. I know right now it's mostly just financial, but it seems like Curtis is looking for a little bit more. Would you guys agree? Do you think he's
Yes,
looking a little
maybe.
bit for some dad?
I mean, okay, like I should probably see him a couple times a week, and I don't put enough effort into doing that. Fine, I admit that. But I have like 10 other kids. I don't know what you expect me to do.
I mean, I do want you to focus on Curtis. I mean, he's my baby. How can you not want to focus on him?
Okay, so I want to focus on him. Now what?
Great, so I think maybe, do you guys ever collaborate on decision making with Curtis, or who usually makes the decisions for Curtis?
I mean, she does.
Yeah? Okay, hang on one second, I'm just gonna get Curtis back, it's been about a minute, we can see if he can participate. When this does happen, Mom, I'm also looking, and Dad, I'm looking for some help in controlling his feedback, so right now, we're just focusing on you guys, but if you guys could help in this with me just kind of redirecting him to sit back for a little bit, I'd prefer for him to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I
Okay.
get it.
Curtis, do you think you're ready?
Whatever.
Okay, great. So again, we're gonna do the same thing where you're gonna get a couple of warnings, and if you can't participate, we're gonna have to take a little break, okay? Because right now it's really a focus on their relationship.
Fine.
Okay, great. We'll see how this goes. So who makes the relationships for Curtis? What were you saying right now? Is it mostly you? Do you make most of the decisions for Curtis?
Yeah. I mean, day-to-day stuff. I'm the one that takes care of things around the house. I'm the one that, obviously Curtis hasn't been in the house in a while, but when he was, I was the one making the decisions.
So I think now to gain more power to kind of the parental unit and like what you guys are doing right now, you might need some input from Dad. If we're looking to get Dad more involved, we might need to be open to getting some more input and some more decisions from Dad.
I mean, if she called me.
Okay, so we're gonna do something, it's called enactment. Have you guys heard of that before? Okay, so it's pretty much just like role playing, kind of figuring out a problem and how we could possibly solve it before kind of just setting you on your own and doing it on your own, just in case something comes up, in case you have any questions. So how about, it seems like a major issue is kind of decision making right now, and it seems like Mom's trying to do decisions for Curtis, but Curtis is kind of just doing whatever he wants. And it seems, right, he does whatever he wants. So that's kind of an issue, and you think it's fine, but DCF disagrees with you. And the main goal is kind of getting you all back together, and right now that's not the path we're on.
Yeah, you're right. I want my kid back.
Right.
So if this is what I have to do to get my kid back, I'll play along.
And it seems like you're interested in getting a little bit more involved. I know it's hard, you're really busy, you have 10 other kids, but
Yeah, I mean, I understand how important it is for a son to have his father in his life, and obviously I want to be there for him. I just have a lot of other people pulling me in different directions, and I mean, I need, his mom to keep me in the loop.
okay, so let's start with something even small. I mean, you're busy, you don't really want that much input, but you want some input. So let's start with like,
Yeah, we don't need you.
Curtis, that's number 1.
Curtis, buddy, I don't want you to leave again. Can
No,
you
but
Thank you, Mom, for insisting.
just try to play along? I'm playing along. It's like a
fine,
game.
but
We'll
it's just
play
so
together.
annoying.
Great. So that's number 1. I'd like you to stay as well. You're a part of this. We're all part of this. But I know it's going to be tough for you, especially. But you're used to getting your way. But right now it's about Mom and Dad and kind of figuring that out so you can get home again. Okay, great. So let's practice with once a week. Let's just say right now as a guideline, once a week check-ins. Positive, negative decision making. Just a phone call between the two of you.
How long? How long do we have to talk?
I mean, how long do you think would work for you guys?
I don't know. I don't know if we can spend more than 5 minutes on the phone together.
So let's shoot for 5 just to start. If it gets better over the next few weeks, we can increase it depending to like 5.
I can do that.
I can do 5.
Great, so
Five
let's start with 5 and let's do a practice run. Like, you just found out Curtis ran away again from the residential and you found out he's dealing drugs again, all right? Which I know he's been cited as doing before. So let's say you just got a call from the residential. They need a decision made by you. Something's going on. What do you want us to do? Your kid's running wild in the streets dealing drugs. So now let's have you pretend to call Dad and let's see that conversation unfold and see how that would go.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Dad, Curtis ran away again, and I don't know what to do.
Interrupting, but could you guys look at each other? I know it won't be in face to face, but just to make it since you're here right now. Sorry. Start again.
So Curtis ran away again. The residential called me. I don't know what to do. They're asking me what they want us to do about it. Something about dealing drugs again.
Do you have any sense of where he could possibly be? Like, does he have really close friends in the area? I mean, has somebody tried calling his phone?
I don't know. Usually he runs back to my place, but
Okay, well, that's a problem.
well, I don't know what to do
Where
about
else am I supposed to go?
Curtis, again, that's number 2. I don't want to really have to have
I
you
mean,
do
when
that.
he runs back to your place, my understanding is that you just let him stay at home, and that's why
Well, I
this
don't know.
issue has continued.
He's my baby boy. I'm supposed to put him out on the streets? What do you want me to do?
No, but he's in a program for a reason, and I think that it's, your responsibility, if not ours, to make sure that he stays there.
Okay, well, this is what I'm calling you for. What do you think
Fine.
I should do?
I mean,
Okay, I'm extending the olive branch. This is all that I can do right now.
I'm willing to come to your apartment and put him in my car and take him back to the residence if you can't do it yourself.
Okay, but then what happens? Won't he get in trouble at the residential?
I think that we need to talk to them about whatever it is that is it just drugs? Is that the ongoing thing? It sounds like there are some other issues that
It's
maybe
in the
we need to have a
past.
conversation with them.
in the past. It's had to do with drugs, but
What else do you expect, I guess, right?
I don't know how to help him with the drugs.
How am I
Okay,
supposed to make money for the family? Jeez.
This is a phone call that you're not
that's a fair point. He makes money for me. And
Yeah,
I know that's not the best thing in the world, but we do need money. I have a bunch of kids too. I have a big family to support.
I'm not providing him money so that he can be a drug dealer. That's not what I work so hard to have
Well,
happen.
maybe you should be around more to talk to him about that.
So can I just interrupt for a second? So far you're doing really well. I know it's gotten a little heated at certain points, but you guys have been able to vocalize what you're feeling and you've been able to remain pretty darn calm about it. So I know it's hard, you're maybe not reaching a decision right now, but even just the practice of increasing communication between the two of you, do you think you might be able to, in the future, if something does happen, do that in real life?
Potentially, but I'm really getting pissed off.
Me too. You're not participating. So why are you getting pissed off? What are you upset about?
I don't know, I just feel like we never can agree on anything and we just go around in circles even if we are having a conversation.
It's frustrating. And so when I'm already worried about my son because he's run away, I don't know if I want to have a frustrating conversation with him.
So I think the only alternative is kind of what you've been doing normally, which is you make decisions, Curtis doesn't listen. So something has to change at this
Not
point.
okay with that.
Right, it's not working. So I think although it's going to be pretty hard, we're going to have to shake some stuff up for now. And although this might seem kind of difficult right now and how it's just going in circles because you don't have the best relationship right now, if you're both interested in Dad being more involved, you're going to have to make small strides.
Even just you calling me, letting me know that he ran, you don't do that.
Yeah.
How do you expect me to respond if I don't even know what's going on with my own son?
Yeah, well, I got a lot going on myself, so I'm sorry it doesn't occur to me to call you.
But you both think it's important for Dad to be involved. You both think that's feasible. It might be a little difficult at first, out of the norm. but it might be something just that might get easier over time.
Can you give me 5 minutes a week, even if he doesn't run from the residents? I mean, I think that I'm at least allowed an update on what's happening in his life.
I
Sure.
agree.
Fine.
I agree. Not just negatively focusing on the negative, but focusing on positive relationships, updates, keeping everyone involved might be a really great idea. So thanks for that. So, Mom, do you think that might be possible? Just a 5-minute a week call between the two of you?
Yeah.
So, who do you think should initiate this?
I mean, she's the one that's with him all the time, and you're the one that has the information, so I feel like you should be making the effort to call me.
Yeah, but maybe Dad should play more active of a role and prove to me that he can be active by calling me.
What if we did something like switch it up? Like 1 week Mom calls, 1 week Dad calls. Do you
Who
think
does
that
the first one?
who's willing to take the first step?
I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to do it, so that's fine.
Are you fine with just kicking it off and then the next week you don't have to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So unfortunately we're out of time, but I just wanted to get the communication lines open between the two of you, hopefully building a better relationship, open communication, having more input from Dad will make for a stronger team and make decisions and kind of rules for Curtis. It might be a little bit stronger coming from the two of you. And thank you, Curtis, for remaining so quiet. I know it's really tough, especially you don't like hearing people talk about you and making decisions for you.
Yeah.
But it's been really helpful just having you here and having you sit back. So if you guys can practice that, a 5-minute phone call, I think Dad's gonna call you this week just to check in to see how everything's going. And then if you come back in about a week, we can just check in about it, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
good?
I guess, whatever.
Great. Well, thank you,